Watch how quick this is. Trigger. So we'll see if that works, okay? So easy. G'day everybody. In this video I'm going to explain 3 tools that I use and I highly recommend for getting a better finish to your formwork. I've got a Festool saw, plunge saw, I've got a 15 gauge nail gun to show you, I've got a framing gun, and I've got a cordless sander, okay? Stay tuned, watch the whole video through. I've got a lot of good tips in this video, little small subtle things. Please like, subscribe, helps with the YouTube algorithm, just helps me out. Who's ever seen this before? All the dirty concrete from the previous pour on your ply. So when you're doing some feature work, some off-form work, you want to have nice clean ply, but you don't want to be buying new ply every job you do. So if you can reuse something, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. So I've found a way of cleaning the ply which is quite effective. Secret weapon to cleaning your ply is a sander. Just a good cordless sander. I like my Festool stuff, so I've got the Festool one. And then what you want is a sanding pad or just a Scotch pad. Scotch pad sticks quite easy on there. So the Scotch pad first. Okay, so that works, it's cleaning it, but it's not as effective. And I would have thought the sandpaper would be too coarse and damage the ply, but it actually works better. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the cordless sander. Okay, so that's step 1 to creating a better finish, is just getting all the concrete off. The other thing to do is use a release oil on any older ply. Now I'm going to show you Milwaukee's new 15 gauge nail gun and why it's an absolute must. Now watch how fast I can nail with this gun. So usually we'd use a 2-inch bullet head nail. They're a bit stronger than these nails, so these nails not being as strong, you do need a couple more nails. So I'll put 2 on each end just to make sure this ply can't twist on the rise. And then I'm staggering my nails, just putting again a few extra. And you can skew them in different directions to get a better hold. Okay, that's done. Now I'll give the ply a quick clean. So in a little bit more detail, I'll show this gun how it works. So it comes with spare tips down there. Runs on a battery all day. One of the best things about this gun is the magazine holds 100 nails. That's 100 nails you don't have to hold in your nail bag and scoop out all the time to nail stuff off. It does bump fire mode, which means you can pull the trigger. You can hold your finger on the trigger, and every time you bump, it'll fire a nail. So I'm just holding my finger on the trigger. So it's pretty quick. Don't take this, I wasn't holding this in a solid way, so these nails are sticking through a little bit. That doesn't happen. This gun is super consistent. I'll show you here, setting the nails. All exactly the same depth, those last ones. Okay, I can pull this back a bit and set the nail exactly on ply depth, and it is so consistent that it'll keep setting them flush with the ply. So the great advantage of that is you're not leaving nail holes on the concrete finish. Now, people always complain nail gun nails are too hard to pull out. No, they're not. Okay, so just using nips. pulled out, easy. So there's still a bullet head. Okay, when you buy your nails, you buy DA 15 gauge nails, and you want 50mm nails or 65mm nails. Anything shorter, when you nail the ply into the timber, it's not going to have enough hold. Okay, the length, that gives you the grip. So you need the longer nails, 50mm or 60mm in length. Only use this gun for nailing ply into timber. So if you're doing suspended slabs, this thing is going to be a huge time saver. The last suspended I did, it's in my video of doing suspendeds, look it up. I was able to lay like 5-6 sheets at a time, and then without nailing anything, then I'll go grab the nail gun, boom, 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 boom. I reckon I could nail off 10-20 sheets in the time someone nails 1 or 2. So if you're doing 1,000 square meter jobs consistently, you're going to save huge amounts of money with this gun. I don't work for Milwaukee, but I should. Go get this gun. I've already told a lot of people about this, and I've probably sold quite a few of these already. This model has just come into Australia. Huge improvements over the old model. Don't buy the old model, it was a piece of junk. This thing's fixed every single issue. Go out and buy it, save yourself some money. Okay, it's got a great hook. Sits on the bag. You can put it on your hammer hook. You can even buy a nip frog and use the nip frog to hold it. Okay, it's quite comfortable sitting at the back there. For those non-believers, there's also the technique that we often use for stripping nails. Okay, where you put the nail in the nips like this, pull down. So we'll see if that works. Okay. Okay, look at that. Look at the damage done to the front of the face of the ply. No damage at all. So your ply is going to even last longer. It's a bit of damage and blowout on the back, but I didn't have a solid timber on the back. If I had a timber there, you wouldn't have the blowout on the back there. And for everything else, framing gun. This thing, the only downside to this one is the weight. It's quite heavy. Use a mixture of 75mm nails for nailing everything, and then a backup for nailing ply into timber is use the 50mm nails. 50mm, 75. It's only 25mm difference. It's amazing how much more grip the longer nails have. So these are the nails that everyone complains about where stripping is a nightmare. Okay, swap over to these. They come out easier than a normal 2-inch. The only problem is using a D head is it will damage the surface of the ply. 50mm. Okay, there's quite a bit of difference in the depth coming through. That hasn't set right. Again, I'm holding it freehand, but they set consistently. Now, usually it's just one tap to back it out. Okay, turn it over, boom, boom. I don't see the deal about nail gun nails being hard to strip. Now here's the downside of using the framing nails into ply. The size of the hole there. So if I put a 15 gauge next to it, there you can see the 15 gauge hole. See the difference? So that's how we get a nice neat finish. So this is my 4th game changer. Festool plunge saw, also known as a track saw. I love this thing, absolutely love it. This is Festool's brand new track saw. It's only just come out. So it runs on these rails on a track, keeps it dead straight. You got your depth gauge adjustment here, just really easy. You got your angle adjustment there, which is super accurate. It takes a 165mm blade, so the cutting depth isn't great. I think maximum is 45mm or 50mm, but it does super neat cuts. Dust extraction is excellent, so you'll see when I do a cut, all the dust just flies away from where you're working. Something that's really great about this saw is it runs on 2 batteries, so 36 volts, but you can run it on 1 battery and it becomes 18 volt. So the power is much less, performs more like what you would expect an older generation saw to work. But you put this second one on, put this second battery on, holy moly, this thing's got some power. For those who've never seen a track saw used before, usually with a skill saw, we'd mark each end, chalk a line, and cut along that line. And if you've ever watched inexperienced guys cutting, they do that quite slowly and inaccurately. So the track saw, we can take a measurement. So I've got 158, 158, and we grab our tracks. I've got a 2-piece one, and it splits just so that it fits in the back of my ute. Otherwise I just use 1 piece, but it doesn't fit. Then you got splinter guard. It's had quite a bit of wear over the years, and this is from, I've actually never damaged this. This is from, always blame people aren't here, but this is from guys that I've had using the saw and they stuff up with it. So anyway, the splinter guard is your cut line. So that's why you don't need to chalk a line. So you line up the splinter guard with your pencil mark. So you can see there is my pencil mark. You line the splinter guard up with it. And now we're ready to cut. So I'm going to do a bevel cut. Undo the 2 knobs, put it at 30 degrees. Factory quality cut. So what I recommend this saw for is just rip cuts, especially when you're doing stairs. But if you're doing like bulk, like a lot of stairs, I have a larger electric one, and that's what I bring out for those situations. But for smaller jobs and just when you need good quality cuts, this is the go. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Unfortunately, I'm going to make you spend some money on new tools, I reckon. But go out and do it. You'll save money. You'll make a lot more money in the long run. Certainly has worked for me. Certainly made a lot of money for me. Magazine there. So the old model, there was an issue with this. If you missed the nail, this would slide up, hit, and break a piece on the inside there. So they've resolved this with a better pusher depth adjustment. Really easy to use. If you've ever got a jam, that just comes up like that. Nails are there. Boom. And loading the nails. Put them in. Done. Ready to go. Adios.